When my heart stops, not a second sooner, I'm gonna finish what I've begun. 'Cause my heart's got a reason to believe in me in a dream and whatever may come. And as long as I'm breathing, I'll keep believing that I'm not done until my heart stops.
Hi guys, coming to you live from my couch, 6 weeks postpartum. No glitz, no glam. The house is a mess. I have not showered today. I think I showered yesterday. Debatable. And I have about 20 more minutes before I have to pump again, and I have a sleeping baby. So I wanted to get on here and spend this time with you and give you guys a little update about life and what's been happening since I've been off the grid. So baby boy was born February 23rd. He came via C-section. And one of the things that I was really struggling with was the decision to either do a planned scheduled C-section or go for a VBAC. I had an emergency C-section with my son, Dean, and that was such a difficult decision for me. I kicked the can on that decision for so long. My doctor had brought it up with me early in pregnancy. And at first I was like, with everything that happened, with all the losses, with the long fertility road and journey, I didn't want to make any future decisions. But as it got closer and everything was going really well, the decision kept coming up and I kept punting it. And it was really, really difficult decision for me to make. I'd come so far and been through so much, so I didn't want to take the risk, or not take the risk, but risk of VBAC was really scary. And I was like, am I just trying to be like a heroine here? And like, do I really need to do that? And should I just do, what everyone's kind of recommending, which is a safe, more certain, there's obviously uncertainty with any kind of surgery, but that seemed to be what was messaged to me, that the C-section was kind of the most certain, most planned. Like obviously birth can go anyway. But I really wrestled with the decision too, because with my fertility journey, where I really leaned was way more holistic, way more functional medicine, way more trusting in my body and letting my body do its thing. So when I thought from that lens, and really like I've leaned way more that way after everything I've been through and I've shared on here, and I will be sharing more, that I've lost a lot of faith in Western medicine. Doing a C-section felt really counterintuitive to kind of what I've come to learn and believe and lean into. And it wasn't until I had a conversation with a high school friend of mine that I finally came to a decision and a plan that felt really good for me. And she had just reiterated sort of what I was feeling, was like, let the baby decide, let the baby, kind of guide the plan, and don't take them before they're ready. Because with the scheduled C-section, they wanted me to do it 1 week before my due date. So what I decided from that conversation was to just move the due date. The other thing I was stuck on was the doctors, like who was going to be there for the C-section. And this friend also said, worry less about the doctors and who's going to do the C-section versus like letting the timing and your baby decide, or giving your baby more time. So because of my age, they weren't going to let me go past my due date, and they weren't going to induce me. I'm not sure if that was an age thing or a previous C-section thing, but those were not options for me. So what I decided was I moved the scheduled C-section to my due date, and I said, maybe he'll come on his own before then. That was my hope, but that gave him all 40 weeks to kind of figure out and decide when he wanted to come. Lo and behold, he did not come on his own. And if you're an East Coaster, you know that date we had a major, major snowstorm. So my son decided to come on a major snowstorm, which is just so fitting for the finality of this whole journey. And it was funny because, so that was a Monday, and I'd called the hospital Sunday and asked, like, should we come in earlier? And they kind of laughed and were like, no, you can't come in earlier. And then they called back Sunday night and asked if we wanted to push it to Tuesday. But at that point, I was like, in my mind, mentally, I'm ready to go. Rob had it all ready. He was up very early, like digging out the car. And I was like, we'll make it there. So, went in Monday morning. It was funny that I didn't really sleep the night before. And that morning I lost my mucus plug, but I was like Googling, as we do, we Google. And that's like not indicative that labor's like right around the corner. So I did end up in the C-section, and everything like went very, very smoothly. Um, Everything was really like also like right on time. I will say like getting the IV in and getting the epidural like really sucked. And I'm just so over being poked and prodded. Like this journey is just a slew of needles and blood draws and IV and like the whole thing. And so I was definitely over that. But he arrived safe and sound. He actually came out really blue, which was kind of scary, but we were sure that was very normal. And, within minutes he was pink. So that was fine. Um, and yeah, it's been a journey since then. I can't believe he's 6 weeks. I'm looking right at him as he sleeps. Um, so what has it been like for me? It's been very surreal. I still look at him and cannot believe he's here. I can't believe my family is complete. I had a really incredible moment with him probably a few days after being home. Rob was not here. Rob was out with Dean somewhere, so it was just me and Bo. Oh, name reveal. His name is Bo, Beau, middle name Weston. So his name is Bo Weston. And um, that's a big reveal because we didn't have a name going into the hospital. And we literally were signing the birth certificate paperwork while we were walking out the door. We went back and forth on the name for a really long time. It was kind of the same with my son. Naming Bo was a little more difficult, but um, this was the first experience, like, when everybody says, like, oh, when you see them, you'll know their name. I didn't feel that with Dean. Like, we were pretty much set on Dean going into the hospital, but always, room for changing our minds. And when I met him, I was like, is he a Dean? I don't know if he's a Dean. And meeting Bo, like Bo just fit him. So it just fit him so perfectly. He is like, just has like this really, I don't know, he's just like this really sweet demeanor. But anyways, I had this really unreal, like very cool moment with him when we were home. I was holding him kind of like this and just like talking to him, looking at him, talking. And he's asleep. He's got his eyes closed. And I'm just talking to him. I'm like, you're a miracle. I can't believe you're here. You're sent from God. You're sent from Gigi. And when I said, and I'll tell you who Gigi is so you have context. But when I said that, his eyes opened up wide. And so at this point, he's only like 2 weeks old. So his eyes open up wide. He smiles and his face lit up. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, you met her. Like, you're definitely sent from her. So I think I've talked about her on here before, but Gigi is Rob's grandmother. She passed away at 103 years old. Um, she actually passed away when I was like in the middle of this fertility journey, and I had really hoped to be able to share with her good pregnancy news while she was still here. But I fully believe like she is well aware of what is happening, and she has completely facilitated the completion of my family with our son, Bo. But she was someone that was like extremely special to me because I never had grandparents. Um, and that's, my dad's side, that's a little bit of a longer story, but most of my grandparents had passed away before I was born. My mother's mother I met once, but she was in a nursing home with Alzheimer's, so that never felt like a grandparent figure in my life. So Rob's grandmother really, to me, was my only experience with having a grandparent, and she was just so loving, so lovely, had the coolest relationship with Dean. Just, I loved her so deeply. And then when she passed, Diane, my sister-in-law, Rob's brother's wife, had given me, she was very religious. She was a very religious person. She prayed for all of us. She's watching over all of us, clearly. And she had given her this pendant to pray to for fertility. So I took that from Diane. And then I would, before any procedures or RUIs, I would go to her gravesite and just like sit with her and be with her. So when I had that moment with Bo, I was just like, she is with us. And before even the fertility journey, but even especially during, I would go to psychics and Gigi would always come through and like, things you can't not believe, like details the psychic would give me about times the family was together, what people were wearing. So she's like, she wants you to know that she's there. So that was like a very incredible moment with him. And And yeah, it's been a whirlwind. I mean, everybody says two is like you get punched in the face, and that couldn't be more true. Rob has been off the whole time, which has been hugely, hugely helpful. My 4.5-year-old is so deeply in love with his brother, which is so cute to see. So I will say that was okay. Here are things that have been hard. One, recovery was terrible. Like I've like blocked it out from the first time, or it was a lot harder the second time around. But like recovery from the C-section was really difficult for me this time around. I was in a lot of pain, a lot of discomfort. I was trying to manage it with just the Tylenol and Motrin, but I like caved and had to take something a little bit stronger. And I don't remember it being that hard when I had Dean. So that one had been really hard for me. I'm finally feeling a little better. I feel like I was further along at this point than I was with Dean, but again, I can be remembering incorrectly. So I haven't been feeling great in my body. I feel like I haven't bounced back as quickly as I would have liked. I know people probably listening are like, it's only 6 weeks. And I do have to remind myself that. Even after being home, I had like so much incision pain. I don't know if anyone else had that. And I don't know if it was a product of me just pushing myself too hard when I got home. Shocker. But it's like, who can sit around with a newborn and a toddler and a house and laundry and all this and feeding and breastfeeding? And it's impossible to not. They're like, don't lift anything, don't do anything, don't walk up the stairs. It's like, okay, sure. But by the end of the day, sometimes I would have like really sharp incision pain where it was like hard to walk. So that got hard because I just, again, felt like I should be feeling better and further along. So C-section recovery this time around has been a lot harder. Two, I cried for days, and second-time moms probably can relate to this, for days about Dean. I think for me in particular, having a bigger age gap with the two kids, like having 4.5 years of just me and Dean and us together and us doing things together and Rob and I focusing solely on Dean, to come home and not be able to do that was really hard. It's still hard. It's gotten a lot better, but the first few days is I in tears over that. And then I think the third thing that's been difficult but getting better, all of these things are getting better, which is a reminder that like with time things do improve and things change, is the feeding, the breastfeeding and pumping. I think we're turning a corner with that, but I just felt like, again, and my memory might not be serving me correctly, but I just felt like my supply came in a lot faster with Dean, and I was really struggling with like that, and if I was on track with the supply, if I was having enough. So I worked really hard to build that up, and I think we're in a good place. I still feel like I'm not where I was with Dean, but we're getting there. So those are the three things that have been challenging. I mean, there's a multiple, but I'm trying to like set the right mindset. It's difficult to balance like not working and feeling like I should work, or what's the plan for return to work. And I have to kind of check in with myself and remind myself it's only 6 weeks. Remind myself that when maternity leave is over, I will miss maternity leave. So trying to allow and give myself permission to just be in this moment, yeah, I have to remind myself that, or I have to have other people remind me of that, because there is this temptation to get drawn back into work, or I should be doing this, or planning for when I return for work. So that's something I could do a better job with. I will say in the very beginning, I was completely off social media. Like I wasn't on, and I did hop on there to try to respond to people and thank you everybody for all your messages and well wishes. And so in the very beginning, I really wasn't getting on there a lot. And I did buy the brick thing because I'm like, all right, if I am tempted to go down these rabbit holes late at night, that wasn't happening, but it's starting to happen. And I find myself going on there and falling into comparison and seeing what other people are doing and opportunities other people are having or ways people are building their businesses. And I'm feeling, I get on there and I don't feel good. So I'm trying to like limit my time on there, again, really just to be present in this moment, with my son, and remind myself like it's fleeting, it'll pass. It's so weird. I even look back to the time in the hospital. I'm just like, I kind of miss being in the hospital. I kind of miss like the anticipation of waiting for him to come, and miss like, the moments when the nurse would reel them back in from a test or whatever, or when we had visitors. Um, so trying to stay as present as possible in this season, which I think is a good reminder for all of us, no matter what season you're in, because a lot of what we talk about on this podcast is, being upset about the things that we don't have yet, like whether it's partnership or career or fertility. And I'm going to talk a little bit more on just kind of being on the other side of the fertility stuff now. But I feel like what happens so often for us is that we don't really lock in and ground into the season that we're in, because we're always looking ahead or feeling like we should be doing more. And so I'm working on that as I navigate maternity leave and try to be really present in maternity leave. And I want that to be a reminder to everybody listening, like whatever season you're in, be in it, like enjoy it, like learn from it, grow from it, love it. One of the things happening for me as I get on social media, because my life is so different now, is I'm seeing everybody like out and traveling. And I'm like, oh my God, that looks so great. And I remind myself, like, I did all that. And this is my season of life. And getting up and playing ping pong in my living room or making peanut butter and jelly, like, this is the season of my life right now. And there will be a moment in my life where I miss this season. So a reminder to everybody listening, like, be in the season you're in, because it's fleeting and time will change things, life will change, things will look different. And it's very possible you'll miss these moments. I know I experience that too. Yeah, so being on the other side of fertility, I'm still processing that. I think I still have so much to process about what I've been through. I still can't even believe we're here. I look at my son and I literally ask him, like, how did you survive? Because I had 5 other babies that did not survive inside. And I look at him like he's truly a miracle, truly a miracle. I literally, like, he's the strongest thing I know. I tell him and me, like, I am so proud of us that we are here and we're together. And that might sound like a little woo-woo to people, but it's truly unbelievable. And when you arrive at the thing that you've been desiring and waited for and wondered why it hasn't happened yet, when it arrives, it always all makes sense. And I look at this little boy and I'm like, this soul was meant for us. And if it was any other baby that had lived, it would not be this soul. And this is the kid that is supposed to be with us. He completes our family in a way that I never imagined. He is, I have no words for it. Like, I can't even fathom anyone else being here, that this little soul was meant to be for us, for my family. The timing was meant to be what it was. And truly, again, when you arrive at the thing that you've desired for so long, it all makes sense. And it doesn't erase the journey, but it makes the journey make sense. It makes everything that I went through so worth it. And I knew that along the way, but having him here now just solidifies that so much. It almost is like all those years, like, were a blank. But for me, definitely there's way more to process and there's way more to advocate and push for. I've had so many women reaching out to me. I'm really mindful because I never want to overstep and overload women with information that they're not ready to have or they don't want, but I can't tell you the amount of women I hear from that haven't even heard of some of the things that I've done or tests that I've done or medications I'm taking. And they've been in this for 3-4 years. And that is so, so criminal. So one thing is for sure, when I am out of the maternity leave bubble, like, I'm coming hard for all this fertility shit, educating, advocating, pushing. We have to do a lot better. But wow, yeah, having him here, it just speaks to this idea that the timing is already planned. The timing is already figured out. Whatever you believe in, universe, God, whatever it is laid out for you, we have no control over it. All we have control over is living each day and being a good person and living to our fullest potential and being present each moment, because the timing is already planned. The timing is already made up, is completely out of our control. The things that we want are going to come in the time that has already been predetermined. I truly, truly believe that. I truly believe that in every aspect of my life, partnership, career, children. Any sooner, any different, it wouldn't have made as much sense as it does when it has happened. So I do want this to be a reminder that we don't control the timing. And the timing when it happens is going to make complete sense. It's going to be working in your favor. That's something I said to myself along this fertility journey, is like, how is this happening for me? And that's something I want to offer again to everybody listening is, how is this season happening for me? How is this timing happening for me? How is being single happening for me? How is not getting that job happening for me, right? All these detours or things that might feel like rejections are actually guiding you to the thing that is actually meant for you in the time that's actually meant for you. And being here with my son now and having him here again, I like still can't even believe it. It all makes sense because of like who he is, of his soul, yeah, it's just, I couldn't have written it better. I really couldn't have written it better. And we push so hard on things. We force so hard. I'm so guilty of it too. We try to out control everything, outdo everything. I did that too. And really, none of it works. None of it works. None of it gets you closer or changes the timeline, in my opinion, in my opinion of what I've seen in my work, in my opinion, and what I've seen in my own life. So yeah, we're doing well over here, trying to remind myself, stay in the moment, be in the moment. Not everything has to get done. I do not need to race back to work. And that's a tough one because work is such a huge part of my identity. Clearly, I'm on here ranting along to all of you listeners, which I so appreciate, but I'm very passionate about the podcast. I think you can tell by the way I look that I'm very tired. But yeah, all is really good over here. I've had, so many people reach out with well wishes, and I really appreciate that. Lots of visitors, lots of walking, lots of patience with myself and my body. And yeah, we're doing good. We're doing good. So this is short and sweet, but this is about all the time I have. This is one thing you really learn about, like when you are in this newborn stage, is like how you prioritize things. And literally it's like, do I shower or do I eat? Do I respond to an email or do I sit and watch something? I was joking with one of my best friends who her son now is 4 months. And I'm like, who the hell came up with this sleep when the baby sleeps? Because who the fuck does that? I know you should do that, but like when the baby sleeps is the only second you have to eat, shower, wash bottles, fold laundry, food prep something. Like, tell me, respond here if you sleep when the baby sleeps, because if you do, kudos to you. Okay, I'll be trying to hop on and give some updates or get back on social media to respond to some messages, but yeah, I'm doing well. I'm very happy in baby mode right now, but also very excited to get back here and cultivate more amazing conversations. And I just feel like I have so much more to share now after this fertility journey, being on the other side of it, and just having another like huge validation of like a huge life event about timing and how to accept and embrace timing and to let go of control of timing. Like I truly feel like I just have this other layer to speak to based on this experience and the timing of my second son. I can't believe I'm a mom of two. It's just really wild, but I'm so blessed. I'm so grateful. And I know there's so many women that aren't here yet, and I really want to be thoughtful and sensitive to that. And my heart goes out to all of them, and I want to help each and every one of them. I always answer my DMs if anybody wants any advice, even if it's just support, whether it's egg freezing, fertility, secondary infertility. If people want to know more about my immune protocol, I definitely want to share more on that, because that's a lot of what I am getting questions on from women, how have been in this game for so long and haven't even gone down that road. I've heard of that. But I want everyone to be able to get where I am, and we all deserve to, and we all deserve to have the right information and support and guidance to get there. And again, I am happy to be one of those resources. So, okay, I'm going to hop off to pump and eat and try to do as much as I can before my little guy wakes up. But thank you for listening. Thank you for hearing my update. And I will be back soon with lots more to share.
Hey guys, I'm Beth. Thank you so much for tuning in to Quiet the Clock. If you want to hear more episodes and learn more about how to dismantle societal timelines, live life on your own terms, live life fully and authentically, subscribe to our channel on YouTube. And you can also follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Quiet the Clock Pod. Hi, everyone. It's Beth, your favorite therapist, or at least I hope I am, and host of Quiet the Clock. I am so excited to share the secret of my glowing skin with all of you. Lumine Face Pro. This amazing device has completely transformed my skin, and I've noticed a real difference in tone and texture in such a short amount of time. Lumine Face Pro uses advanced microcurrent technology to gently stimulate your facial muscles, promoting collagen production and improving skin elasticity. I mean, amazing. The device is also equipped with LED light therapy, which helps reduce wrinkles and fine lines and promotes cell regeneration. Hello, so perfect for this 43-year-old mama. I need every ounce of this. With regular use, Lumine Face Pro can help you achieve a smoother, brighter, and more even skin tone. It's so easy to use and safe on any skin type. Invest in your skin and experience the difference with Lumine Face Pro. Visit blumine.com today to learn more and order yours. Use the code QTC at checkout to get $30 off your first order. I mean, what a deal. $30 off your first order. I hope you guys run to blumine.com and get yours and love it as much as I do.